See you later, bitch. Tease party people. 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 See you later, bitch.
Peace, party people. Welcome to the podcast where we intend to make the love for hip hop great again and celebrate the power and unity of hip hop. I'm your host, Marc the Artitself, here to bring you some of the illest tracks, the dopest interviews, and the stories that make our culture shine. Today on this episode, I'm fortunate enough to be sitting here with three brothers that can really tell you what it is to be on the same track as their favorite MC. Three brothers that are sitting here that can tell you what it means for an a former NFL player to take notice of their talent and help them along the way this journey in hip hop. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, G.I. Wonder. Yeah.
Bro.
Fellas, how is it going?
Oh man,
Amazing.
bless,
Let's.
bro.
Okay, I like
Going
that. I
great,
like
man.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's dive right into this thing, man. Let's get this thing cracked.
Let's do it.
So, first and foremost, can y'all introduce yourselves?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Want me to
Go
go first?
Yeah.
I go by Chris Cross,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Virginia Q, man.
and I'm Crime Wave.
Okay.
Hey,
Give me a little bit of that history of the of y'all getting into hip hop, man.
Mhm.
shoot,
Yeah.
man, it starts early.
Yeah,
us, man.
super early.
So yeah, I guess I could, start with us. So, man, honestly, bro, my earliest memory
Mhm.
of hip hop, one of my earliest memories in life, was seeing Bone Thugs and Harmony, first of the month music video on cassette. You know what I mean? Dad had the VHS. And we just used to play it on repeat all the time.
Mhm.
Like you know how kids have that thing that they're just cling to, whether it's like a toy or a blanket. Like for us, me and my older brother, that was it for us.
Right,
It's
right.
Always Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. So that's my earliest memories. Obviously my father's huge music guy.
Okay.
Same as my mom. Big on the gospel side of things.
Okay.
My dad's been playing instruments, and they, she's been a musical family for our entire lives.
Okay.
Always around music.
Yeah.
And it was inevitable. Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's dope. So let me ask you this. Coming from Virginia, right? We repping out.
VA.
You know that.
To have Bone Thugs and Harmony at that point, like what song was it that really did it for you?
Mhm.
Because at that time, hip hop was getting busy.
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying? If you brothers don't mind me asking, what's the ages? What we got here?
I'm 29.
29,
And I'm 31.
31.
And I'm 29.
Okay. So Bone Thugs and Harmony. Is that the 99 album?
You say that?
East 1999, yeah.
Okay.
That's the funny thing about it too, is because at that point I was maybe, somewhere between 4 and 6 or something.
Mhm.
And so, the album was old at that time. Like
Mhm,
this is like an old
mhm.
tape that we're watching. We understand that we pretty much went back and did the history of a lot of the 90s hip hop and stuff like that.
Mhm.
A lot of that was before our era, but we just fell in love with that sound,
And let me say this. What moved me about you guys were the 90s, the
Mhm.
90s style that you give.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
a quick little story here. I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling, you know what I'm saying? And I'm doing what regular people do, you know.
Mhm.
But I come across this quick freestyle about Virginia.
Yeah.
Number one, what caught me was the track.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this track. Yeah.
Right.
And I see the brother doing it, and I'm like, okay. But when you went into saluting Virginia's own,
Absolutely.
from Mike Vick,
Mhm.
AI,
Yeah.
to Purnell,
Come on.
to the Clips,
Come on.
and man, you was You was rolling. And I was like, yo, that's dope. I hit the like button, bang. And a couple days went by.
Yeah.
Another joint pop up. I see this brother. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Then I see you. I'm like, hold on, man.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, where are they from?
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm going through and I'm screenshotting stuff and I'm looking, oh, them brothers from out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Word, okay, let me. So in the midst of me getting this podcast going, I said, I'm gonna see if I can reach out to these brothers and see if I can get an opportunity to chop it up with them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And lo and behold, when I put that email together and sent it to my brother Q,
Yep.
Q responded.
Yeah.
I lit up like a Christmas tree. And here we are. So I want to say, first and foremost, that excuse me, that freestyle was crazy.
Thank you.
It was crazy.
Appreciate
It took me down a rabbit hole.
Wow.
It took me down a rabbit hole. That's when I listened to you. That's
Mhm.
when I seen your videos. And I'm just like, then I go to Instagram and I start following each and everybody. I'm like, this needs to be uplifted.
Wow.
Thank you.
You dig?
Yeah.
And as I dove into it, here's my hand on everything I love. Didn't know you was Christian rappers.
Wow.
I love that.
And that was the dope part about it because I'm like, you wouldn't know, but they bringing a message. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I love that, bro. Like, just thank you for that, first and foremost. But I love when you said that you didn't know we were Christian rappers, just because when we go about trying to deliver the message, we want to be almost as subtle as possible. It's funny and it's kind of ironic because, obviously you want to be bold for the faith, but we know that there's a certain stigma surrounding not just Christian hip hop, but any sort of musical genre that has like a label prior to the label. You don't say like Muslim hip hop or Buddhist hip hop. So it's like anytime you put that title in front of it, a lot of people instantly they just close their ears.
Yeah.
And I wonder why is that? I mean, that's a good point. I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Because, they break it down. This is Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
There is no, this is Muslim hip hop.
Right.
It's just, it's not. But that's dope though. I need to
And
be
people,
looking
to
for that.
categorize it. And I guess it's for good reason, quote unquote, because a lot of the time people hear something that's labeled Christian hip hop and they don't like it. It's corny to them.
Yeah.
It's just not dope. It's not delivered properly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of earned that corny stigma. So I understand it. But, it's up to individuals like ourselves and others to like rewrite the narrative.
Yeah. I mean, that could create a new mode to it.
Absolutely. Because if we truly believe what we claim to believe, then we should be set apart. We should be excelling and exceeding the world artists. You know what I mean? And like, if God is our standard and he's the one supporting us and backing us, man, we should be leaps and bounds.
Yeah. That's fact.
Exactly.
So where did the faith come? Where did the faith come in? Is this something you guys were born into? I mean, the household. And I say that because we're black. You know what I'm saying? And,
In the Bible
from the
Belt.
South.
Yep.
So we are pretty much born into that thing with our parents and grandparents and things. But what I want to say is, with all that's going on, and at you guys' age,
Yeah.
to stand in front of the world and give it to them like y'all giving it up for the Most High, man, that's powerful, man, because the glitz, the glamour, the gold, to be, because you got the skill set to do the same thing, but on the other side.
Yeah.
And could be getting, raking it in and positive this, that, and the third.
Yeah, that's right.
But you're standing tall and bold for the Most High.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what was it that made you just say, we ain't going that route?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I mean, we grew up in Christian household and everything, but we weren't always Christian rappers. Like,
Understand?
yeah, we were like super into like, battle rap and gun bars and stuff like that. Like, we really just love rap music, and we didn't really like make that change over because like, we were getting views, likes, people love what we did before we made that transition.
Yeah.
But literally, him being the oldest in the group, he's the one who was like, hey, let's try this. And I'll let you speak to that.
Yeah.
The whole.
Yeah, bro. Like, so in like, I think it was around like 2016, like, like I had one of those moments with God where I just felt strong conviction. Cause that's the thing too, like we always had like conscience raps. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was always, you know,
It's always had a message.
right, always had a message. It was, you know, obviously it was skewed and whatever, but it's just like, it just hit me. And then I went through this whole thing, like a whole, like I guess you would say like spiritual warfare. Yeah, that's the perfect word. It was like warfare, bro. And I'm just like, yo, we need to change. I just kept hearing it. And I think it was one day where I felt God was like, hey, you're gonna make it. But if you don't do it for me, this industry is gonna like literally eat you alive. So that shook me. Yeah.
And I want to mention, like, and then I guess another thing that kind of pushed us towards it, someone we knew, they made a comment, you know, they heard one of our songs we put out, and this is, you know, before we made the transition. She was like, oh, I thought y'all were Christians.
And it was kind of like,
Like, you know, yeah,
that's how we're being.
y'all rapping like this, you know, and like you mentioned, like, you judge us we want you to judge us by the fruits of our spirit. Like, we lead that life. And, you know, and what we were rapping about, we wasn't like living,
Right.
You know, we were just trying to
We
put bars together, you know,
Never been like violent individuals.
Never,
like
never stood out on the corner, swang that yay.
you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was always like the rappers we looked up to rap about this stuff, and what we were doing, didn't realize that we were like intrigued with how clever they were and how talented they were at telling these stories using the similes, metaphors, etc. So when we emulated them, that's what we were emulating.
That's what came out. Yeah.
You know, we just had to take out that side of things, but we were still trying to mimic like the bars and the way the flows.
It's a musicality.
Hip hop is so impactful, man, and that's what this show is all about. I want to restore the feeling, man, of hip hop.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If it's dope, I want to restore that feeling. I want to know that impact on your first day that you heard something like, you know, just, oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
In your opinion, the way hip hop is evolving from what you guys grew up listening to is totally different from what I grew up listening to.
Right.
You dig? So, in your opinion, how has hip hop evolved over the years since you guys really been in tune with it?
Oh man, bro, I would say it's like, I feel like it had, you know, it's going in a good direction, but it also, I see a big like decline in like actual skill.
Okay.
It's like,
I agree.
you know what I'm saying? And not to say like, you know, it's some dope artists out there, but it's like, yo, marketing and the way something is placed in front of you, that's king. Versus like, yo, you can actually rap. Because nowadays, obviously, you don't need a label.
Right.
You can just kind of be like, yo, I'm on TikTok, I'm spitting bars, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I'm just like, dang, like, I really miss, you know, I miss the days of like popping the trunk and you got CDs for sale.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really want, like, hey, I wish that was still a thing.
You know, man, it's in my opinion, lazy. Laziness, man, and a lot of it comes from that era that you speak of popping that trunk and getting your CDs out there. Well, you don't have to do that no more. We got these, you know. So this has made a lot of the culture very lazy. I can sit here, throw a track on, rhyme, and send it, and it touches everybody. So nobody gets on the grind anymore. And with that, I don't have to sit at the table and pin nothing to pad. You know, if I come up with a quick 16, it's catchy. Hey man, who wants some?
Right.
You know, I'm trying to get on.
Exactly.
You know. So, are there any to you guys? Are there any things that's going on in hip hop that may be concerning?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it comes from a lot of what you just spoke on. I think the laziness is definitely a factor, but I think even more so, it's like the mindset of instant gratification. There's no delay in like things that are gratifying, and it's like weakening the core principle of discipline just throughout humanity. That's even outside of music. That's like social media or things of that nature. It's like you said, if you can literally pick up your phone, you can write your rap in there, you can record your song in there, you can upload it and share it. Like, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's cool that it's very convenient to be able to do all these things, but the downside of that is you have people who will take advantage of that. And like the people who are undisciplined, people who are, you know, seeking that instant gratification, they are gonna cut as many corners as they can.
Oh, exactly.
You know?
Like, especially like now to where even production wise, like
Mhm.
you can put out a song without mixing and mastering it and it could go viral.
Yeah.
So that's just like sets this bar super low now. 'Cause I'm like, why do I need to mix and master it if I can go viral every single time?
Right.
So
Exactly, like you said, or if it's something you just playing around with, don't put any effort into, that takes off.
Yeah.
What's and this artist over here is
Man.
up all night? Like, what is his incentive to keep doing what he does?
That's dope what you
Yeah.
said, and it leads right into my next question
Yeah.
about the artistic expression.
Yeah.
You know, like you kind of answered it, but I want to hear it again.
Yeah,
Who do you not so much mimic, but who do you find yourself like, okay, I like the way so and so is spitting. I'm gonna take, I want to take that and flip it and bounce it and put my own twist to it, but I like his style.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Or who is that?
Yeah.
it's always gonna be the big three for me. You know, the Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, obviously. And in terms of groups, Griselda is someone I look to do
Instead,
you know, and then obviously the older crowds, the LOX, you know, we had the Locks. A lot of those guys we try to take and learn from in different ways and stuff like that.
I
But
like that.
who I find myself listening to all the time it's between, Cole, Drake, and Kendrick, man, they just all have different elements that I've gravitated towards.
I like that. You can't go wrong with those guys, even though they got a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But throughout history, it seems like it's always been three.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Holy Trinity. It's always been
That's
three.
true.
You dig? You go back to Cool Herc. You know what I'm saying? Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel. You know, then you come up, you got Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, you know what I mean? And then you go Jay, Nas, and Big, you know what I'm saying? And now here you got J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. You know? So it's always seemed to be three.
Yeah.
But there's always one on the side that's just as dope.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, you had your Big Daddy Kane, your Rakim, and KRS-One.
Yeah.
I thought Cool G Rap was everything.
Nice, yeah. Yeah.
And I shared the story with my man. Matter of fact, hold on, wait a minute.
Talk to him.
I've been meaning to ask you this. Crime Wave.
There we go.
Break it down to me.
Okay, so
Because we talking
yeah.
Christian rap.
Christian.
What we talking about? Just crime wave. Come on, talk to me.
Yeah. So Crime Wave is an acronym. It's Christ really is moving everywhere. And wave as in wave file, because I make all our beats, and wave is the highest quality of, you get your audio.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Cash rules everything, right? Free. I'm digging that. And I thought it had, I knew it meant something, just the way you had it written. But I wanted to make sure that I knew, and I want my people to know. That's dope. Repeat that one more time for me.
Crime Wave, Christ really is moving everywhere, and wave as in wave file, because that's the highest form of audio.
Bingo.
So
The conversation started.
yeah, exactly, and that was the main thing.
Yeah.
Why it's like crime is a conversation starter. Like, what you mean, crime? You supposed to
Like, and I'll say this, crisscross.
Yeah. That's my actual name. Well, Christopher Krause is my actual name.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Older brother named me after Chris Cross Boys. So hip hop, born into it,
Yeah.
And it's dope that you using your name, your government.
Yeah.
And it's Christian based and it's Chris Cross.
Yeah, that.
Thanks, man.
Ain't that
That-
so?
And Christopher Cross, I mean, shout out to that yacht music.
Yeah.
Y'all know anything about it. You know what I'm saying? As we do it all here. But
Yes, sir.
Virginia Q is
It's very straightforward.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I think that's dope. Man. Yeah, man, let's grab another joint here. How do you see the role of hip hop as a tool for social change?
Man, that instantly takes me back to, Public Enemy.
It's a turn on the man. Hey, man. For my Uzi ways,
That's my dad's favorite group, Public Enemy.
KRS-One, that era specifically, it was all about unification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like what it meant to be a black person
Yeah.
in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, not to make it about race necessarily, but music is just a powerful tool. It is so powerful. And it could be used for good or bad, just like any other powerful tool. Gun is a powerful tool.
Right.
Used for good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
You're right.
Yeah, the ways are endless.
Yeah.
I always have conversations with older people and in my family, and we talk, and I say, You remember how it made you feel
Mm-hmm.
when you heard James Brown say, "I'm black and I'm proud."
Mm-hmm.
That's the same feeling I got from Public Enemy when they said "Fight the Power."
Yes.
When Chuck D on the songs where he come in and he's like, "Here it is,"
Yeah.
bam,
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, it was just that impact, man. Like, yo,
Yeah.
we were kings.
Yeah.
We can do what if we band together? What?
Yep.
That's the message that's missing to me, in my opinion. That's the message that's missing
Oh yeah.
in today's hip hop, in the worldly hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's some guys getting that message across, but it doesn't get pushed
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the ill stuff. But
Yeah. Bro,
yeah, man.
I agree 100%.
So-
and that's what we trying to do. Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Right.
what we're trying to
Exactly.
Trying to change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
For sure.
That's dope, man. Let's move on, Bubbles. This one dope. The collaborations
Mm-hmm.
in the community. You dig? I'm a firm believer. I say it all the time, and you'll hear me say this all the time on this podcast. Whatever hip hop is doing, the community is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all call them YNs, the young brothers.
Yeah.
Whatever hip hop is doing, that's what our brothers and sisters are out here doing.
Yeah.
If it's jumping on top of a table and shaking it fast,
Yeah.
that's what they doing.
Yeah.
You dig?
That's true.
And it's you know, I sit here today and say this as an older guy, you know, not to say we didn't have that kind of music back then, but there was a message, there was consequences to these things. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the community is everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all, you know, when y'all do y'all thing, is the community, is that like, okay, we going out here, not only are we repping each other, repping our families, but what are we giving to the community?
Yeah.
With our performance, with our music.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
It, man, it's such a big part. Like, it's strength in numbers.
Okay.
And it's like, yo, like, if you want to go fast, you go by yourself. If
Okay.
you want to go far, you got to go with
Yeah.
people.
Right.
You got to go together.
Right.
Team.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, that's everything. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I mean, yeah, that's the whole reason. You know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
to try to steer people a whole different direction. Because, like, some people, they may not get it when you say it, but you plant that seed. Some people are like looking for that last little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just need something and we could be it. So
And then-
always come with their minds.
It's a fact, bro, and there's no way to really tell. That's why it's always important to bring your very best.
That's
In
it.
terms of your question in the community, it's like we're very intentional about crafting our music with these things in mind. Before anything is ever recorded onto the mic and leaves the studio, we're already considering who it may touch and how it may impact them.
There you go.
We are very intentional about praying over all of our music and studio sessions,
Yes. Every studio session.
things of that nature.
Mhm.
People forget how essential it is and mandatory to fast, you know, on the spiritual side of things.
Yeah.
It's extremely important. And, you know, we don't take what we are blessed to be able to do lightly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's
so,
it.
Yeah, it's so much bigger than us.
With that being said, do you consider yourselves, and I know we're all unfinished products,
Yeah.
but just listening to how you said, getting into your craft and knowing which direction you're going and who you want to touch, and that, to me, that's a complete artist. And I know we're not finished yet, but that's to me, that's some of the basis of being an artist.
Yeah.
Knowing the target, knowing that this message, it can change things.
Yeah.
So that's dope, man.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. So, okay. Now we're gonna get to the good part. Because I recently just met my favorite MC of all time.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Rakim fan. I'm on stage with her.
Rock.
And you know, I had a brief conversation with him, and I'm standing on stage with Rakim last week in Petersburg, Virginia.
I love that.
You know, so I want y'all guys to tell us about the time that y'all came together and met y'all hip hop icons.
Oh,
Goodness, yeah.
sure you got time, bro.
We gonna make it there, so y'all can get busy doing what y'all gotta do. But we gotta get this out.
So you want to go ahead and start with the Lupe story?
Oh yeah, so my goat. So I didn't grow up listening to Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm originally from New Jersey, so I came up on Jay-Z and 50 Cent. It was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But but my personal goal is Lupe Fiasco.
Another
I love like an introspective rap. Yeah, exactly. Wordsmith. Like,
yes.
super underrated too. Like, in Raps with a Purpose. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But so I met him in Lynchburg, Virginia. What was the name of the place?
Phase 2.
Phase 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
Phase 2.
it closed down now, but yeah. But so I actually met him outside of music. I actually do like painting stuff too, like murals and canvas art and stuff.
Okay.
So I painted a portrait of him, and it was this long drawn out thing. But long story short, like, I went to like his merch table, and I guess it was like his security or something. They were just like, "We'll find you in the crowd to let you go backstage and stuff like that."
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, "You ain't gonna find me in this crowd because it's like packed in there and stuff."
That's
So-
for yourself.
Yeah. And I did all of this because like this lady walked by me, like when I first got there, I was like the first person there. And the person at the door was like, "Oh, that was his manager right there. You just missed her." So I was just like, I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, this never gonna get to her.
That's for yourself.
But I'm like, why is Lupe Fiasco in Lynchburg, Virginia?
Right.
But his guy at the merch table ended up finding me out in the crowd. He was like, "You gotta come real quick and stuff." So me and Virginia Q, we was going over there. They told him he couldn't go backstage and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I was like, so yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah." So I went back there, got to dap him up and stuff, got the autograph, got to request some songs, just tell him how much I appreciate the music and stuff like that. Like, really dope, humbling moment, like getting to see someone that you like look up to music wise and love the message, being able just to meet face to face, like you have a right
first
first.
album.
So yeah,
His first album was crazy. I love it.
Yeah, classic.
That's dope, man. And when I come across these my hip hop icons and the brothers in the industry, man, the sisters too, I always give them their flowers and I let them know how much I appreciate the contribution that they have given to hip hop, especially in my my youthful days, man.
He did.
Yeah. So moving right along, brother.
Oh yeah, man. So with us, it's a bit of a longer story, but I'm gonna try to condense it.
Okay.
So April 2018, Bone Thugs and Harmony came to that same club in Lynchburg. That's where we all live.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they were doing a show there. And, but at this point, my brother and I, we were, through our teens and stuff, we were super fans. Like, you could not find bigger fans than us. Or Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Right.
They had every poster, every album, everything.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, time had went by. We hadn't listened to the music in a while, so the fandom sort of wears off over the years just because you grow up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I told my wife about it. She knew I was a huge fan. She was my girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
And she just decided, we had just started dating, and we had been talking for like a year on and off prior to that. And I prayed about it. I was like, God, you know the exact woman that I need and I want, so bring her to me. And God told me that she was the one. Not long after we started dating, she surprised me with tickets to the show, me and my brother, to go to that Bone show. He wanted to bring his girls. So of course, I had to bring mine. So we all ended up going. And I just got my camera in January of that year because I do like videography and photography as well.
Right.
And so I was like, yo, I'm going to bring it to the show because I brought it to the Lupe show just a month prior to that because I took pictures and stuff. So I brought it. I was like, yo, I'm going to take it in here and get some stuff. They wouldn't allow me to bring my camera in that time for whatever reason. They're like, if you're not a part of the camera crew that they came with, you can't bring it in.
Right.
That's fine. I'm just going to go in and enjoy the show. So because I couldn't bring the camera in there, I was kind of focusing on their cameraman the whole time. Obviously I'm seeing them for the first time. I'm like, yo, this is dope. I didn't even think these dudes were real. But it's like, also, I'm kind of like, I keep checking out the cameraman because it's like, yo, I wanted to be doing that here.
Right.
I wasn't able to, but God, he works in mysterious ways, man. I ended up reaching out to the dude after the show, found him on Instagram. I was like, bro, I love what you do, man. Keep doing it. I aspire to do that one day. He hit me back and was like, bro, here's my number. If you ever need any advice, just let me know. Me and him built a friendship. My guy, Cam Junkie.
Dope.
Months go by. November, December, he hit me and was like, yo, Bonus, they're on tour with Snoop. They were doing a show at VCU.
Okay.
And we're like, yo, if you want to come up and shoot some stuff, pull up. So, of course.
Pull up.
Yeah, we went up there, man, and met Bone Thugs at their hotel in the lobby. So that was surreal for us, meeting them for the first time. But then we was able to shoot the show. That was incredible, man, just being in that huge space and seeing the sea of the crowd.
Yeah.
This is our first time being backstage. I look to the left, I see Corrupt. I see Snoop. I see so many legends over me right there. Right. And Too Short. Everybody. So that was just a dope experience in and of itself. If that was all that came from that, that'd be more than fine for me.
More than enough.
But like I said,
But what is for you? If God got something for you, ain't nothing gonna stop that, right?
Keep preaching.
That's what I'm telling you,
Right. Okay.
So fast forward, 2020, pandemic year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything slowed.
Yeah. I had this idea forever for him and I to make like a tribute song to the Bone Thugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give their flowers. And so I just had that idea on and off for like a couple years. My wife, I had forgotten all about it. My wife, again, reminded me of it. And so I went ahead and wrote the joint. We wrote it together, sent it off to the cameraman. I was like, bro, what you think about this joint? I just wanted to, get your thoughts on this. He called me and was like, yo, this joint is dope. Can y'all get out to LA? Need to shoot a video for this. Again, California is just like Bone Thugs. This is something we don't even think exists. You know what I mean? Something you see on TV.
You're, with all due respect, you're coming from Lynchburg.
Bro,
That's
we're
it.
coming from Gretna.
No, okay.
He was at Lynchburg, 100,000 people, still small as city. Gretna, 1,300. I'm talking about, you don't think nothing exists outside of
So yeah.
Lynchburg was New York City. So we're like, yo, absolutely. Flew out there, linked up with him. I got to film some behind the scenes stuff for one of Lazy Bones videos that Friday night. That Saturday, went to Crazy Bones' crib, shot parts of the music video.
So you at Crazy Bones' crib.
Out of bridge. Yeah. Like say his government name at the at the front. You can't back here. Right. Crib.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I ain't got nothing on y'all but rock.
Right.
It's all a blessing.
He was my favorite, my personal favorite. Like, this is my number one go on my personal list of all time. And so to even be interacting when it was crazy. It was. Like I said, went to his crib. He welcomed us in, shot the video, linked up with Lazy Bone at another place, and shot some more with him. And we flew out that Sunday. So which
hold on. I don't mean to keep cutting you
oh,
off.
you good?
Was there a moment while you was at his house, like when he walked off? Was it a moment where you might have like got over in the corner, was like, I can't believe this.
The entire I kept looking at these. I'm trying to take when I say we had every CD, every poster, we knew every record.
Literally, the reason why my head like this is because of Crazy Bone.
Okay.
And like when I was little, I'm like, Mom, can I get this? Yeah. And it's like, bro, it's like when he was walking out his crib, cause like he came outside. Like, yo, that's really good.
I know we over here nothing.
Yeah. He cool. And then he's like, he mentioned something about Easy. He was like, I've been at this crib ever since we got on Easy. And when he said that, I'm like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, he shot that out there like, yeah, like my man Easy was
What you mean NWA?
That's right, the icon.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so we were just on a high, bro. That was incredible.
Yeah.
So that's like the first part of the story.
Okay.
Did the record, they showed.
And the name of the record is Thank You.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder. And so they loved it. They showed love. About a month later, that was November. We were in LA. A month later, my guy Vision called me again. It's like, yo, Busy heard the record. Busy Bone, he loves it. He was in Texas at the time. I think he's still out there. It's like he wants to put a verse on it for the remix. We're like,
what are you talking
hit me?
What are you talking?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? A verse for Busy, bro. So he done that for us, which
So he's on this. I've heard it.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for you. That has, man, come on, man.
Love,
bro. That's dope, man.
Yes, sir.
To have your favorite guy get on the track with you.
Yeah,
bro.
It's still surreal.
It
still can't believe it when you're here.
That's dope, man.
So that was super, super dope. Time goes by. 2023, Bone Thugs are getting the street in Cleveland renamed after him.
Yes.
My guy Cam Junkie invited us up there to that, help him shoot it and just hang out. So we went up there, witnessed that, hung out with Crazy Bone all day, which was super dope. Park and went out to eat.
Eat lunch with him.
He didn't realize that my brother had been sending him some beats.
Yeah.
He posted, producers send stuff to this email. And so they finally got to chop it up. My brother, because Crazy Bone played some songs on Instagram Live.
Okay.
And he used 2 of his beats.
Yeah. Okay.
2 of those songs. And so my brother, went up to him. He was like, "Yo, I appreciate you hopping on my beats and stuff." And he was like, "What song?"
Right.
So he named him. He was like, "Yo, that was you?"
He told you, he was like, we got a name, man.
Yeah, we got some hits, man. We got a and take my number. So that's what we really, solidified that relationship.
That is awesome.
That was super dope. That night we were promoting our record with Busy. Like we had T-shirts and stuff on. The guy named Big Hef, he was out there for their ceremony. We got introduced to him. He was like, "Yo, I got a radio show out here. I want y'all to come back next month."
Okay.
And this is all coming together.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah, it's crazy.
a month later, we knew we were doing a radio show. They was going to play the Thank You record with Busy on the radio in Cleveland. So this is like hometown.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're like, you know what? We're going to do this show. We've seen people freestyle on their radio show before. So we're like, yo, we need to get our bars together.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right.
So we were all writing and we put together like a 7-minute freestyle. And we wanted to perform it live on the radio, but we didn't have time. It kind of ran out of time or something happened, whatever. I had my camera with me, of course. So we were like, yo, we'll just go film this ourselves.
Yeah.
Went to one of the Cleveland signs. We filmed that. And the very last part of my freestyle was over the Virginia beat.
Yes.
That's where part one
Yeah.
From
and because that's my whole mentality. It's like, yo, we're gonna be in Cleveland, but I want to let them know where we're.
That's why in the video you're sitting on the Cleveland left. Bingo. Okay. Everyone always asks why.
So it's like, what? Why you agree? Right. So that was just a small part of it. It's more context, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because of that, that kind of took off on the internet, got a lot of traction and stuff.
A lot of
traction. And so we were like, why not make this a part? Because I literally was like, yo, it was hard for me to write that because of all the people that I had to leave out for part one. I was like, yo, it's so much talent that comes from Virginia. I could literally do like 20 of these.
Yes.
We gonna just do part ones. Part one took off, so I was like, all right, let's do a part two.
Yeah.
Same response. And let's do a part three.
Oh.
Same response. Do a part four.
Or just keep getting bigger and bigger the whole
And
time.
it did grow, but because like I said, that's how I ran across you.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part, bro. It's like, we did part 4. It's like, okay, cool. Whether it be procrastination or life got in the way, whatever. Over a year went by before we did part 5. And I was thinking to myself during that time, I was like, do I even want to do another one? We're doing our own thing. I was like, my brother just encouraged me, like, yo, let's just. Because I wanted to close the series.
Right.
Excuse me. And so we done that joint. Like you said, bro, it reached a lot more people than we could have anticipated, and that's why we came down here this weekend. We got invited to do the Juneteenth festival.
Okay.
And then you reached out, and I was like, yo, that's perfect. Yes,
man. It was perfect, man. And I am, like I said, man, I'm over the moon to have you guys here with me today, man. Let's talk about the young man that gave y'all a little boost. Let's talk about the former NFL player, Rashad. Let's talk about that brother. There you go.
Rashad Jennings, man, that is my guy.
He dope. Shout out to Rashad. This is his family, like, honestly.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for sure, man. And he's from Forest, Virginia.
Okay.
I live in Lynchburg. It's like 10 minutes away. Okay. Right up the road.
How did y'all connect with him?
Shoot, man. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, it was so. It's another artist in our city by the name of Jay Busy.
And
shout out to Jay Busy. Okay.
He saw us on there, and I think his dad worked with Rashad.
Him and his dad and Rashad are pretty close already.
Right.
And so him and Rashad had a relationship.
Right.
Jay Biz and Rashad.
You know what I'm saying?
So Jay Biz,
like, ended up posting this.
he posted one of our records, Everyone Love.
Uh-huh.
And Rashad saw that, and he was like, yo, who was that?
That's when he reached out.
Yeah.
And it was funny enough because Rashad had an event at a local park in our town.
Yeah.
And he was there. It was like I remember seeing him, like, he looked familiar, but I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? But we performed and we bombed.
Yeah.
Terrible.
That was like,
You bombed?
yes, we did terrible. It was
2017.
For sure, right?
One of our first shows. We
Terrible.
performed at Lynchburg.
Oh, man.
It was
It
awesome.
was Rashad's event.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm sure he had no idea who we were. And so 2021, that's when Jay Biz posted us. Rashad reached out.
Reached out.
And I actually hopped on a Zoom call with him. It was me, Jay, Rashad. I think Dad was on there as well. There was another guy named Chad Nelson, a dope artist.
Okay.
And we were chopping it up. He was talking about, putting together an album that he wanted to executive produce.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yo, I'm totally down to do this. But I also would love if my brothers could be a part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, one thing for sure and two things for certain, brother. You are the glue. Because when I reached out to you, I didn't know it was a group.
Yeah.
And you reached back out to me and say, man, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
Can I get my brother and my partner down here?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, let's make it happen. And so that's it, that's that loyalty that he had to, blood brother and best friend. It's like, yes, that's dope, man.
100%.
What you saying about being, you bombed? It falls right into the next question of like, what advice would you give to an inspiring artist trying to get on and they have a moment like that?
Preparation is key.
Preparation is key.
Okay.
Yeah, work on it like it's your job. Like practice.
Oh,
Because like
exactly.
I think one of the songs we did, like some of the verses was like done probably the night before or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
man. And we added stuff at the like right before the show and stuff. Just doing terrible preparation.
Yeah, bro.
It showed.
You know what I'm saying?
Even like stage presence. Yeah, if, like they're all stiff on stage and you
So moving in your purpose.
yeah,
Move in your person.
Exactly.
1000%.
And that's, you guys could have folded your tent. You could have shut it down after you bombed in front of people.
Yep.
Yeah, for real, bro. And it's just like, and I really think it helps that we do have each other. Yeah, there's a lot, artists, you by yourself, you just like, dang. But it's like one of the most cliche things. It's so cliche, but I guess you don't really understand it until you like feel the feeling of I want to quit. But you have to keep going. And like you got to be willing. I think Kevin Hart said this. He was like, you got to be willing to give 100% fail, get up and give 100% again.
Yeah.
And keep doing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Until that 100% makes sense.
1,000.
And what you got going on.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
As we're coming to close this thing, man, and it's been a beautiful moment, beautiful conversation.
Sure.
Very it's been good, man.
Yeah.
You guys are telling your side of the story, man. That's what it's all about here at Peace Party People. And
Yeah.
you got any future projects you're working on? Anything new?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the joint that I heard the other day,
What was that, bro? What you hear?
Steppers, Steppers.
Yeah.
That joint crazy.
That's out.
Yeah.
On every day, on every platform right now.
Yeah, Steppers by J.I. We're going to perform that tonight, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Show.
Okay.
We just released a record called 2 Up, 2 Down.
Okay.
Obviously, like we are in our era where we really appreciate where we're from,
Right.
I want to shout out a little man. He been Virginia. This other one.
Oh man. Yeah.
What do I want to say about this, man? Because it's kind of like
It's like
there's context. Yeah,
it's context.
Fries.
It's a surprise. Okay.
But there's like, we just want to reiterate that we truly take this seriously. Not even so much rap, but our purpose in life.
Yeah, you're right.
And know that we were intentionally put on this earth and what we were meant to do.
Yeah.
And, when we don't take that seriously, it reflects on ourselves and everyone else around us. But when we do take it seriously and that's not taken seriously, that's an issue to us. So we just kind of want to address that.
Heavy is the head
Come
that
on.
wears pressure around.
Come on.
So you're moving in purpose and you know what you're here for. Then what you guys are doing in the lab is it's gonna show. Hear them out, man.
So I would say that concerning this next release. And I guess if I had to give one word as to like a clue about the record, I would just say Timberland.
Okay, so we gon' let it simmer.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna let it simmer and then we go, okay.
Yeah, but
So
soon, July 7th.
okay. Well,
Dropping.
we dropping. Don't quote me on that, brother. This will be dropping. We're gonna make it happen before July 7th. How about that? That's what we're gonna do.
Ain't no
because
rush, bro. But
we're gonna build it up to y'all release, and we'll be in contact with y'all. And you have a home here in Newport News, Virginia,
My dog.
at Peace Party
Love it.
People
Man, we
podcast.
appreciate
When
you.
you guys got new material, you got my personal number. Reach out.
Yes, sir.
And I got something going on. You know what I'm saying? We'll reach out, man. We're gonna make it
Please
happen,
do.
man.
Please.
From this day on,
Yeah.
We family.
family, family. You know what I'm saying? So simple. We gonna close this out, man, with you guys giving the viewers information on how to find you
Yeah.
on your social media,
Yeah.
and let them know where you're performing. You know, so yeah, let us know.
For sure, man. So you can follow me at Virginia Q on pretty much every platform. And then for all of us is at GIWonder, G.I.Wonder. Yeah.
You can follow me at Chris_Cross. No S is X's, so CHRIX_CROXX.
And that's on Instagram.
That's on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can follow me on Instagram at Crime Wave, and there's a dot between crime, if that makes sense. Dots between, you know, yeah.
We're gonna put all that at the bottom of the captions
go.
and whatnot, and then we're gonna take it from there, man. This has been an honor,
God,
a
man. I
pleasure,
appreciate you.
and I love to see young brothers doing their thing, and again, moving in purpose, man.
Yeah.
That's the phrase for the day, man. Moving in purpose. You brothers have blessed us with your presence, and I've been honored, man. So look, man, Peace Party people, this has been one hell of a conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting these young brothers, man, and this thing is only going to get better. So again, Peace Party people, and hip hop, whatever you're doing, do it well, because the community is watching. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, that was dope. Definitely gotta come back. Oh yeah. Yeah. Doors. Yeah.
Invitation.
Yeah, I was saying.
That's my God.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible.
It really was. This is dope. Definitely appreciate you for having us. Yeah.